did this, man. God really, and I knew God was real at the same time, but sometimes it takes for God to put you in a place where you can't depend on nobody.
Yeah, facts.
And he got to show you who he is for himself.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the More Purpose Podcast,
where we talk faith and finances.
I'm your host, Clarence.
And your co-host, Marlon. And today we have a special guest with us today. None other than our stepdad, Cheyenne Smith, or you may know him as Styles by Shy. One of the best suit guys in the world. Side note, if you need your suit, hit him up. We're going to drop his stuff in the bio. But we just glad to have you here today.
Well, first I want to say thank you for that plug.
Yes, sir.
Good plug.
But I'm excited to be on the podcast. Y'all killed it last season, man. I'm super proud of both of y'all. I always dropped in to check on y'all episodes, so I know season 2 is going to be lit. So make sure y'all stay tuned to what's going on.
Man, Tori, about to take over, man. But today's episode, we're going to switch up a little different. It's going to be more like a story time. So get y'all popcorn like last time. Get y'all popcorn, get your drink, whatever you need, relax. Because this is for the people that's not really tapped into God, but they need some type of inspiration to basically see that you can make it out of any situation.
Facts.
So my guy's gonna tell his backstory, how he came up and how he got to where he is now. And I hope y'all get some revelation from it, learn something from it. And if y'all have anything that y'all want to say or ask, drop it down in the comments for us.
Facts.
Without further ado, we're gonna it's in your hands, brother.
Yeah.
Well, just to let y'all know, first, I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. It's not just a slogan, but that's really but grew up with a single mom. Knew who my dad was, but was never in my life. Lived in the same city as me, from South Philly. So my mom's side is from West Philly, my dad's side from South Philly. So grew up with a single mom, and a couple siblings, brothers, sisters, and mom always working. So as a youngster, 12 years old, was always out there running in the streets. So I'm from 57th Street. Y'all know what it is. Out there at 12 years old, I turned to selling drugs. One of my cousins, he was like one of the top boys out there, and he wanted to steer me to do right. But because I seen him, and when you around the environment, you tend to choose what you're around.
Yeah.
So because you seeing dudes out there and they getting money, and you see them with all the fly clothes and they get whatever shoes and they dropping this and dropping that, so you like, that's what I want to do. Especially if you struggling.
Yeah.
Like that. You see your mom out there working, you hardly ever see her, and y'all still can't get nothing ends meet. So I turned towards selling drugs at 12 years old.
Dang.
Got out there at 12 years old. So you imagine, 12 years old, I was like in 6th grade.
Well, I was at the playground.
Now I'll be at the playground, but I ain't just at the
That's
playground.
crazy.
But I'm out there, and doing my thing. And as I start to grow into it, get known out there and start doing my thing, and going through middle school, going through high school. And once I got in high school, I say this all the time when I tell this story, that my 12th grade year of high school was my best year and my worst year of my life. But best year because I moved out when I was in 12th grade, 17 years old, get ready to turn 18, had my own place, was doing my thing, making money. But my 12th grade year, 1 month before I was about to graduate, I get locked up in school.
Jeez.
So it was one of the greatest years of my life because I felt like I was getting money, and we think money is everything.
Yeah.
Because you can do whatever you want, and especially at 17, 18 years old, when you can do whatever you want, you like, man, I'm living. Yeah. So I thought I was living until that time came. Listen, this was 8th period, about to get out of school.
Oh Lord,
that's crazy.
Now, I used to like to gamble a little bit, so I walk into the bathroom, 8th period, y'all. I'm 1 month away from graduating. I got my cap and gown. I had got my book. They signed my yearbook and everything.
You got everything at that point.
Yeah, to graduate, 8th period, I walk in the bathroom. They got a dice game going on, and I just happened to just stop. Boom, principal, vice principal, they all busting bathroom. They want to do a search. They search us, and I get caught with drugs on me. I forgot I had the drugs in my jacket.
Wow.
This was a leather jacket I just happened to wear that day that I didn't wear for like a whole month, and forgot I had this little department in my jacket, and I had drugs in it.
Dang.
First thing, I just turned 18.
Oh.
So soon we in there, they call the police. They say, hey, we're gonna take you out. And I'm like, dang, 18. I'm going to
go to jail.
Yeah.
Go to jail. You go to jail, buddy.
It wasn't no juvenile.
Yeah, went to the big house.
I'm like, oh man. But the biggest thing that made me feel sad the most was my mom was so excited that I was about to graduate. So I was like, Dad, I'm going to break her heart.
Yeah.
So I end up, getting locked up, and I had a good lawyer, but in the charges I had like 4 counts they put me in for. 3 of the counts my lawyer's like, hey, we can get through this, we can beat. But because it was drug-free zone, you can't have drugs in 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
So I'm in school, got caught with drugs. So that right there, I couldn't beat. So I'm going through. He got me off a little bit. So first they wanted to give me like 5 years.
Yeah.
So really each count was 5 years. So it was 20 years total. The other 3 he got off. I had that 1 count left. So I had 5 years. So I remember going sentencing, and they was like, all right, we're going to give you 5 years. And all I heard was 5 years. Dang. At 17, 18 years old, like, dang, man, well, this dude have to do 5 years. But they was like 5 years, all suspended, but 6 months. So I still ain't know what that meant at first, because it's my first going through this. And then my lawyer like, all you got to do is 6 months. I'm like, 6 months?
I mean, a lot.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
So, they gave me time to get myself together. I had to turn myself in. Boom, I did the 6 months. Did that in my sleep. Like, they ain't nothing. Mm-hmm. Come back home, I'm right back at it.
I didn't learn his lesson.
Because it was like when your mom or your dad, they spank, they think they doing something beating
Don't touch
like,
that.
Yeah, I can take this.
You really think they want you to think that it's real bad, but or is a big beating, but you really like, it was all right. You showing remorse, but really it's like that ain't really nothing. Like,
he's crazy.
That 6 months felt like that ain't really nothing.
That's a lot of dudes too.
Yeah. And that's because the mindset was like, I'm gonna get back out here and get back to what I'm doing. Because you see people all the time, in that environment go in and out of jail. I had homies all the time, and I mean 6 months was nothing. They say 6 months, nothing. I could sleep that off. You know what I mean? So I went right back to the streets. I was out there doing my thing, and for a while it just went great. Then found myself again. This time it was much more. So this time I think I was 20, maybe 19, 20, because it was like 2 years later. I think I might have get ready to turn 20. It might have been 19 and about to be 20. So I get caught up again in Philadelphia, and this time though I get caught with 4 ounces of drugs.
4, yeah.
So now all bagged up too. So I had crack cocaine, 2 ounces, and 2 ounces of soft, which is just the cocaine already, and all bagged up. So they giving me
that's freshly folded up and everything.
It was already ready, everything ready. So I get locked up this time, and this time I knew like, I'm over time. I knew this time it was no way getting out of this. Again, I had a paid lawyer, great paid lawyer. He knew all the judges, So I end up. They end up not giving me a bail. So I had to, go to court while I was in there. Yeah. So I sat for like 16 months.
You sat for 16 months?
16 months.
Sheesh.
So the first time, I was already, the first time I was already a year in, right? And they came to me with a deal, because they always going to come with deals first before you go to trial. Yeah. So first deal, they think they want to give me 10 years. I was like, nah. Then they came again, 5 years. And then the last deal before I went to trial was like 2 years. So I was in for a year, and I'm like, well, I'm only gonna have to do another year. But my mom was like, nah, don't take no deal, go to trial. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go to trial. Because I had a good lawyer. So I go to trial, and we get going through this. So now I'm in for 16 months. We go to trial, and really this paid lawyer, man, I'm paying him. All he really doing is getting me a continuous after continuous after continuous after continuous. And those of you may know that's watching that may have been through this, or maybe not, but just something similar. You feel like it's no hope for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because now you got no control. Because you used to controlling, things on your own. But now I got no control. I'm locked up inside, and I'm depending on somebody else
to get me out of here.
This, right? So, and I'm going somewhere with this. Depending on this lawyer to get me out of this, because he know everybody. He's popular. He's one of the popular guys that street guys get. Getting continuous after continuous, and finally, one of the last time they kept denying all my motions. Judge was denying it. This DA lady, man, she was like, no, I want you to do these 10 years. She wanted me to get this 10 years. So finally, we get down to the last day of trial, and my attorney doesn't show up.
What? Hold on.
He doesn't show up. So I'm sitting there just like y'all, like, I'm thinking like, all right, but the judge's not going to try me like with no
attorney.
Yeah. Here, you know what I mean? He's seen that he been coming all this time. Judge like, nah, we're going to try you today without your attorney.
So he didn't give no reason to not show up?
No, he didn't show up at all.
He gave up on you.
I don't even know why.
Slide.
For real, to this day, I still don't even know why. I never talked to him no more.
That's crazy.
He never showed up for my last day of trial.
And he was paying him.
Yeah, he was already paid.
Oh, nah.
Didn't show up my last day. But this goes to show you how sometimes people think they have control or we depend on somebody else. But the whole time now, I'm one who grew up in the church but didn't really grow up in the church. You know, if you know what I mean. So I grew up in church, but I wasn't in church. I be leaving. I still resort to the streets. I might go sometimes if I felt like it. You know, but the whole time, God was the one really in control of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So we in there, and the judge like, hey, we're gonna try you without your attorney, and we're gonna do go to recess for 10 minutes and come back, and we're gonna do sentencing.
Okay. Whoa.
Usually they're gonna give you, all right, if you're guilty or not, then you come back for sentencing.
Yeah.
This day
they trying to get you out of there.
Nah, we're gonna do everything today. We're gonna try you, and you're gonna get sentenced.
They don't play no games
So
with
I'm
you.
sitting there. Really, to be honest, before I went to court, I already had in my mind like I'm gonna do 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I'm just gonna deal with it. Do this time, ain't nothing I can do. They caught me red-handed, so it ain't like I can be like, it ain't mine.
Get out of
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to do it. So in my mind, I'm guilty. In my mind, I'm getting ready to do this time. I can't control this. It's nothing I can do. The one I depended on, he not even here for me anymore. So I'm sitting there, and this man comes up to me, and till this day, still don't know his name. I just remember how he looked. He had curly black hair, Caucasian gentleman with glasses. He came up to me. He said, "Hey, I'm going to take your case."
Oh my goodness!
I just looked up and said, "Okay." I see him go over there, talk to this DA. Now the DA lady, I've been going to court for 16 months now. She kept trying to give me these 10 years. She wouldn't give me no more deals because the last there 2 years, they was like, that's it. And because I didn't take it, they don't like when you don't take them deals. They want to try to get you the max that they can get you. So he's talking to her. He comes back over. He says, listen, man, I got them to give you a deal, all time suspended with 4 years probation. So I said, all right, what you mean? So all time suspended, meaning the 16 months that I did, that's going to be my time that I had to do in. And then 4 years, I just got to walk off.
Yeah.
He said, so are you good with that? I said, so I could leave today? He said, yeah, you could leave today. Man, we got up there, signed the paperwork, shook his hand, knew him for 5 minutes.
He walked off.
And I walked out that courtroom.
Angel, bro.
That right there was, even to today, God don't have to do nothing else for me, but that's one thing that I knew.
I know. Wake up, like I know God.
Made me, and that's what made me kind of wake up. Now I woke up, but wasn't always. Because it made I didn't do like I did the last time and go right back out. I kind of still dibbled and dabbled a little bit, but it made me conscious. Like, nah, God did this, man. God really, and I knew God was real. Yeah. At the same time, but sometimes it takes for God to put you in a place where you can't depend on nobody. Yeah, and He got to show you who He is for Himself. And that was one time He showed me who He was, and I said, "All right, man, I'm gonna try to do right." But when you so used to getting that fast money,
habits, bro,
and you try to go and do a regular job. Now I never had a job, so I had to go work a $8 an hour job, going from where I could just make $5,000, $10,000 in one day to $8 an hour, where I could blow money and I know, all right, next day I'm gonna get right back. $8 an hour, I'm struggling to pay for my apartment. So I tried to, do right. And I remember once I got out, that was July of '99, and January 1st of 2000 is when I turned my life over to Christ. And from there, I believe was the change, the will was starting to change for me. So I turned my life over. Now things didn't go, immediately change. And I started working, and I was only making $8 an hour. But during that time, I got into corporate America, and I worked my way up. And I got to a place where I was a manager, portfolio manager, and got into finance and was doing great. So I took the same way that the mentality I had when I was selling drugs as a boss. That's what I took when I was working on my job. So in finance, I used to have to give like what they call FTEs, and that's kind of giving forecasting of your budgets and stuff like that. So I used to break it down just like I used to break it down with the drugs. I break that job down daily. This is what I want to make every day. This is what I'm going to make by that week. This is what I'm going to make by that month. So that's how I used to break my forecast down. So it prepared me for my job.
That's great.
But as I was going along, and I left corporate America, and I went into my own business, I had that same mentality. Even now, my phone rings. I don't care what time it is. I'm answering that phone, just like I was when I was on the streets. So people say, "Man, how did you get so successful and to where you are now?" And I'm like, I use that same mentality I had in the streets. Now I'm just doing it a different way, and I'm using it in a positive way. So I said all that to say, even sharing this story is, some people feel like I don't have no hope because of their environment that they're in. But sometimes you do have to resort to that environment, but God will put you in a place to show you that he is truly real and show you that you can overcome where you at.
Yeah.
So that's what he did for me, man. He allowed me a chance again. They say God is a second chance God.
But
8, 9, 10.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I mean? So he gave me another chance, because really that was like my third chance. So it made me a 2-time felon, but it woke me up to say, look, man, I ain't going to continue in this way. Even though I missed the fast money, he showed me I can really make that same money now. And now that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now,
crazy,
man, I use that same mentality that I used in them streets, but I'm just using it to do it in a positive way. And now telling my story to those that and it don't have to be that you into drugs. You know what I mean? You could be a hardworking person and you still feel like, man, things ain't working for me. But if you keep on pushing and allow God, who's in control of everything, he'll bring you up or give you an idea or give you an opportunity, if you have your eyes open to it.
So one thing I do want to say, because especially a lot of dudes in our generation, a lot of people are not getting the chances you got. People that are in that lifestyle, they either die, and it's proven they die, or they go to jail. So what would you say to somebody who's in that lifestyle right now, making the big money, and they don't want to let go of it?
Well, it's just what you said. But when you in it, because
it's hard to let go.
I know the consequence. You know the consequence. You know there's only 2 ways you coming out of it. Eventually, if you continue to stay in it, is either you going to die because everybody want to be the man. So if you the man, it's somebody else that want to be the man.
That's true.
So it's somebody else that's looking at you like, and after a while they're gonna be like, oh, you're on my way to become the man. So they gonna have to do something. Or they're gonna try to rob or take what you got. Or the other thing is, you're going to go to jail. At some point, you feel like, no, I'm never going to be slipping. But you don't got to be slipping, but it could be somebody else that's jealous of you and telling on you or give information. So it's all different type of ways. So to answer your question, you got to come to realization, what do you want for your life? Do I continue in this, or do I take that God has given me grace that I may haven't got caught yet? No one haven't done nothing to me. So let me take what I got right here and maybe invest it into something positive. So that's what I would say to someone that maybe is in that field and they feel like, man, I want to get out, but man, I'm just making this money and it's just too good for me. Well, take that same money that you have now and invest it into something. And you don't know what you want to do, but you can invest it in and be a silent partner. You want to invest? You got right here.
Yes, sir.
Right here. Come on and invest it right here. You got me. You want to invest?
But that's crazy. That's facts too, because like you said, you took your skills from the streets and then took it into business, and now your business is flourishing, of course.
Do you feel like how your life was set up? Do you feel like that was an ordained thing to happen in your life for you to be who you are now? As far as like how you handle business and everything, do you feel like you had to go through that season of doing what you did when you was younger, selling drugs, all that stuff? You didn't have the type of business mindset you have now.
Definitely. So that's how you hit it on the nail is the mindset. So I don't think it was ordained for God wanting me to go into the streets to sell drugs. You know, that was my choice.
But your
environment. You know what I mean?
But environment.
Because of that environment. And that's what I chose to do. But I do believe that the mentality that I had was ordained for me because it allowed me to not use it just in the streets, but it went to corporate, then from corporate, then to my business. So yes, I think that was ordained for me to use it for the mindset that I have.
That's one thing I love about God, though, that He can literally shift our own bad decisions and shift it, make them good, because like He already knew the outcome ahead of time, so He knew when you would choose to go to the streets on your own. Of course, He knew that He would turn it around for something good, something purposeful, and stuff like that. Right. So
I like that because they're basically like God turned a tragedy into a beautiful story. Like He turned something where most people don't even get to make it out of that situation, or don't get a type of grace.
Yes,
some people, yeah. And I love that, bro. I love that God really will use anybody and will prove to you that I'm not giving up on you if you don't give up on me.
Yeah.
And it's about a choice too.
Yeah.
Because even though He gives you grace, it's a lot of times He gives a lot of us grace.
Yeah, but you don't want it.
Choice.
You choose not to do it. You know what I mean? It's like He give you another chance or give you another opportunity to get out, and you like, all right, I'm still gonna stay over here. So it was my choice to say, hey, all right, yeah, it's good, and the money's good, but you know what? What really made me was like, you know, if I become a third-time felon, it's 3 strikes and you out.
You out.
3 strikes of the same crime.
Yeah. Done.
They throwing the book at you. So that's what kind of was like, nah, I can't afford, especially at the time starting to have children. You know, I got married. It was like, nah, I can't stand this life.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just got to suffer and go through and try to make something happen. And that's the thing. I think today people don't want to go through the part where they got to make it happen for themselves. And I'm talking about the suffering part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody want it easy and quick. They want you want to put it in the microwave. You know, I look at my son. Well, not y'all sons, but y'all younger brother. You know, he like to make bacon all the time.
Yeah.
You know he going to
Quick bacon.
So he uses the microwave to make his bacon. He ain't putting that joint on the grill or the skillet. You know, because it takes too much time. He want to get that joint out quick.
Immediately.
And that's what this generation now is. They want to make that money fast. They want to get to the top fast. They don't want to start in customer service. They want to be the CEO.
Yeah. Attention span's too short, bro.
Right. Yeah.
So another big thing that always like been on my heart heavy is because you actually come from that lifestyle and you actually, that was the environment you was in. But we have a lot of people that are trying to choose that lifestyle that they were never meant to be in. So what would you say to those people who didn't even grow up in that? Of course, jail or death, of course, but I think people think it's like cool. Like it's a trend to be from the hood.
A badge of honor.
Badge of honor. Yeah, because to other people, we're squares. We're squares. I'm not even gonna hold you. Yeah. So what would you say to them?
Well, I'm gonna say, you ever seen that? I can't think of the movie, but I'm gonna say the quote.
All right.
Pretty much, stop trying to be a pretender.
Yeah.
You know, in the movie, I think it was Columbus Short said to the guy that was stepping, he was trying to be all hard and tough. And he said, you know what we call people like you? Pretenders. Like, you can tell when somebody pretending. Like, so what you're saying, like how people, you know, didn't come from the streets. They came from a good home and came from a better middle class or even upper class lifestyle, but still want to come to the street sides or act like they're from the streets or from the hood. But people can tell if you're pretending or not. Yeah. So I would just say, stop pretending. You don't have just be who you are. Yeah. You know, and sometimes too, it's the attraction of things. Yes. You know what I mean? That's what this world loves. You know, we're a lover of things. We're a lover of money. The Bible says the lover of the money is the root to all evil. It's not money. Yeah. It's the person that love it. When you love and you chasing that, that's what you're right. So that's what it is. I think it's because we look at things and we look at other people and what they got. So, and how they accumulated and they got it so quick. So even if you in a good home, you want it real fast. So I'm going to resort to what they do. And then those be the ones that be those little innocent bystanders because they're not from the streets. Right. They end up
mama hurt. Yeah. Mama hurt
in jail or did because they chose that route.
Yeah, that was real good.
By association.
Facts. I think one thing you can touch on, how did your father not being in the house affect you, especially you saying you get out in the streets at 12 years old?
Well, I definitely think if I had a father in the house that I wouldn't have resorted to going to, especially not that early. I never know if I would have did it later in my high school, but 12 years old, I was in junior high, 6th grade. So I definitely wouldn't have resorted to that because I would have had an example or someone to push me or someone to be there. And that's why I think I am the way I am, with y'all and with all the kids, to be present, in anything. I don't care if it's, ballet or you doing a speech. I want to make sure I'm present there, and to give you, let you know how you did and encourage you and encouragement and checking on you because that's important. When you don't have that, you feel like, man, I ain't got nobody. So what you do? You resort to what's going to love you. So I think that's what I did. I felt like, the streets love me.
Money make you feel loved.
As Jay-Z used to say, the streets don't love you back.
I come in on that though, because we very observant of everything. And one thing I can say is you are very present. Like you're at every event, every speech, on even if it's on live, you on every live.
Facts.
Just me watching you being at every one of CJ games is like a tough feeling. It's like a lot of people don't really get that type of love from their parents. So it's like that's not something to like take advantage of or take for granted. And it's just a blessing to be able to witness that and see that it's still a black man on top of that that's filling in that void that other people are not having that filled in.
And another key thing about that also, if you didn't have one of your parents present in the home, you should do as he did and started for his family. Because a lot of people use that as an excuse. My dad wasn't in my life and continue the curse. But I think that's a key thing that he stopped the curse and that he did things differently. So
I think what it did was it's going to do two things. It's either going to motivate you not to be like how your father was, or like you said, you're going to continue the curse.
It's going to mold you into it.
Continue that generational curse. And I was like, nah, I'm never going to be like my father. I'm going to make sure, I'm present. That's why, with y'all being in another state, I make sure I call and check up. Hey, I'm just checking to see how your day going. What's going on. What's going on with you? Same way with, we got kids everywhere. About 40 states. I want to make sure y'all good to let you know, hey, my dad care, my stepdad care. He want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? And y'all know anytime any of y'all need me, I'm there for you.
Yes, sir. And before we get out of here, got 2 more questions for you. First question is, what are you thankful for? And the second question is, what is one thing you believe in God to do for you in 2023?
Well, it's many things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful, of course, for life. For God giving me another chance at life. Because I could have been like one of the statistics. Could have been, a lifer in jail, or could have been not even here no more. So, I'm thankful for life, for grace. And I'm thankful for family, that I had the opportunity to break the curse. That I didn't allow, because I didn't have my father, stop me from doing what I need to do to provide and be the protector and the teacher of my family. So I'm grateful and thankful for that. But my goal for 2023, with my business, we moved from New Jersey to Texas. So I still have my business in New Jersey, my store. But then also here in Dallas, I'm looking to open up a showroom here in 2023. But my main goal is to even go outside the 4 walls. I want to be able to travel to cities where people call me in to style them or custom fit them.
That's coming.
So that's what I'm going to do. But then even beyond this is one of my other goals, is to actually teach people or individuals that want to learn how to start this type of business, a stylist or a boutique owner. So that's what I'm looking for.
That's good.
That's tough. It's coming. God gonna definitely come through every time. Make sure you write it down, make it plain.
There you go.
You gotta play that in.
I want to let y'all know, this guy right here, he actually motivates the family. Like, he's the one that's like what he just said. Hey, make sure y'all write your goals down. Before January comes, he's gonna make sure each one of us have our goals written down for 2023. So he, just like they may say, I may push them in certain areas, but they push us in certain areas to make sure we're on top of the things we need to do, and that's one of the things. So I appreciate you both for again giving me the opportunity to be on the podcast, man. This is going to be one of the greatest podcasts. I'm telling you, y'all better link into this.
Facts.
Tap in now. Facts. Y'all better tap in now.
We make it, ain't no going back. Yeah, we appreciate you though. Yes, sir. This is a great episode. I'm sure this is going to help somebody that's living that lifestyle, and also the people that are not living that lifestyle, but are still trying to dibble and dabble in it. Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Find your exit plan now.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those that's not a part of the Bible Study group chat, please tap the link in my bio and join the Bible Study group chat. Full community of people that want to get closer to God. And for those that's on the podcast, please leave a review on the podcast too. Let us know if y'all like the podcast or not. Give us a little review. Let us know what y'all like and what y'all don't like. And if we drop a heat or not for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And who else y'all want guests up here? Like, whoever guest y'all want up here, let us know. Let them know in the comments. But other than that, love. Y'all be safe.
Sir, y'all take care.